All right, first off, let me ask you a little bit about the Alabama Senate race right now. How do you think it's going, and what are your projections?
Oh, well, Katie Britt swept the state. She will be the next senator from Alabama, the first elected woman senator. She is highly qualified, well regarded, carried 66 out of 67 counties. I know she has a Democratic opponent in the fall, but that won't amount to much. She basically, well, not officially, she's going to be the senator.
Alrighty, and moving on to inflation. Talk a little bit about inflation. Do you see any end in sight or anything getting better for the American people?
That's an excellent question. Inflation, the numbers came out this morning, 9.1% inflation. Highest in years and years and years. It's rampant all over the world too. Europe's going down the same track. We've got to get a hold of it. We've got to produce more. We've got to open up the supply chains. We've got to build pipelines. Otherwise, gasoline prices will stay up. Or gas prices, natural gas prices will stay up. We can do better. But I think we need real leadership at the White House that we're not getting.
And talk a little bit about the 2023 appropriations. Are we going to get all the bills done and everything? What do you project for the appropriations?
Well, that will probably go on. The appropriation process will probably go on till after Thanksgiving when we come back after the elections, because it always does. It's protracted, it's difficult, it's a lot of money involved, but Mobile has a lot of big stakes in that, as you know, from the docks to the city of Mobile to Spring Hill College, you can name it. There's a lot of things in there that, if it works out, will inure to the benefit of the Gulf there, which you need.
Gotcha. And talk a little bit about that. Is there anything new going on with the Port of Mobile that we can talk about?
Well, that's what I alluded to a minute ago. We've been working on the port for, 10 years or more. We're deepening it now. There's, spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to deepen the port, and also to clean up the rivers that do it, to modernize the port, to make it a container port. You got a great director there in John Driscoll. I think it's a game changer for Mobile. It's going to take 3 or 4 or 5 more years to finish all that, but I think you're going to see a big boost in Mobile's employment and traffic.
Gotcha. And deepening the port would obviously allow bigger ships in for bigger cargo. Is that kind of the point?
The biggest ships in the world. That's what it's. Yes, ma'am. That's all. What it's all about. The bigger the ship, the more the business, because they can carry more on the load. And Mobile, we're going to 50 feet. In some areas, a little more. And that will be a game changer for Mobile and the Gulf Coast.
Gotcha. And also another thing that is kind of affecting the state of Alabama right now, we're hearing reports of illegals being flown into Alabama. Have you heard about this?
About what now?
About migrants being flown into
Say
Alabama.
Oh, well, migrants are coming from illegal immigrants from coming across the border like there's no border. And that's the Biden administration. They failed the American people. They hadn't protected the border. They have no intention of protecting the borders. And migrants are going to be coming in by the thousands. They're doing it today and tomorrow. We've got to stop it.
Gotcha. And really quickly, last question. What's your take on, we're hearing there's this woman out of California who wants to build a floating abortion clinic off the coast of the Gulf Coast so that people can perform abortions legally. What's your take on that?
Well, I don't know the details of that. I think that's nonsense. They have floating, I guess, gambling machines out there. They have abortion clinics floated. We don't need that. Thank you.
Gotcha. All righty. Thank you so much. Oh, and I'm sorry, one more thing about the abortion reaction and everything. What's your response to protesters going to justices' homes and following them to restaurants and things like that?
Well, I think the people ought to respect other people, whether it's a Supreme Court justice, a man and his family ought to be able to go to any business and be protected and be respected. This is a breakdown of law and order in this country, respect for courts, respect for institutions, and a lot of it's being fostered out of the White House.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you so much, Senator. We appreciate you, and we appreciate everything you've done for the state of
Thank
Alabama.
You.